I'm Sarah Gillespie, one of the agricultural instructors at the high school. And so just kind of giving you an update of what courses we have this year. We have Intro to Ag with 68 students enrolled. Animal Science has 35. Veterinary Science, which is a junior and senior class only, has 5. Agribusiness has 1, which is mainly for seniors. And then our Natural Resource class, being taught by Sherry Wilson, has 8. And so the program's growing. Definitely hoping that we can fill a second position soon. Today we did have a contest at Mission Valley High School. The kids competed in what's called Leadership School, where they showed their parliamentary skills, which I believe about a year ago is when we came and presented that to you guys. So they did really well, had some tough competition, but have majorly improved since last year. And then they also did their employability skills, where they practiced developing a resume, cover letter, and then also went through with the job interview. Today I have Amber Eggenberger here with me. She's a 2019 grad, and so she got to experience the program for a year before she graduated. So she was going to share some of her success, and then I have part of the advisory board here with me. We meet twice a year and talk about what's going on with the program. They give me feedback on what they would see the future students having for skills needed for careers in the future in agriculture. So I'll let Amber talk on some of her success.
Hi, I'm Amber Eggenberger. I was the first president for this FFA chapter. I was a senior when it got started, so as Mrs. Gillespie said, I only had a year in the program, but that year allowed me to make enough connections in the vet school to be able to do my undergrad in 3 years and then actually get into vet school before I finished my bachelor's. With the help of Mrs. Gillespie, I was able to make connections at the vet school. She actually found me my first job, which was actually where she worked when she was in undergrad there. And I was able to have those connections and work there for a year and a half before I moved into a higher level job at the vet school, and then was able to use all those connections to make it into vet school for reference letters and experience. Along with that, one of my jobs I applied to was an on-call surgery tech. During that, before I could move past my training for that, I had to be able to know what all the instrument was, how to put packs together, and be able to run the OR. One of the contests we have in FFA is vet science. And one of the things you have to know in vet science is to be able to ID certain instruments. And with being able to compete in that, even if it was only a year, it allowed me to be able to come into that job and learn much quicker than most people, just because I already had that past experience. Along with that, I also had help from Mrs. Gillespie outside of FFA with 4-H and different activities like that with the hippology team I went to, and ended up winning nationals with her help. Yeah.
I wasn't in FFA. Well, obviously, other than the two obvious things of being proud of Amber for what she's done, and the second is the fact that it saved us a year of college tuition, and what she didn't say was she did all this while she was 20. When she was accepted actually in the 2 vet schools, both Missouri and K-State, she was 20 when she was accepted. So I really feel like, even though it was only a year, that the FFA program really pushed her on to the next level a little quicker. As being on the advisory board, we're more the livestock end of it, but I also see all the benefits for everything else that Mrs. Gillespie is teaching. The horticulture part, the entomology, water, as we all know, is going to be a huge thing in the near future. And that's part of ag, whether we want to admit it or not. Everything needs water to grow. And so all those things, I think, help promote the FFA. I personally I graduated from Shawnee Heights in 1980, and we didn't have FFA then. I also graduated that semester, and possibly had we had it, that's going back a long time, but I might have stayed the full 4 years, because that was something that I was interested in. I went on to shoot horses for a living, and also we raised registered limousine cattle. And so any of that thing may have helped me maybe go to college. And that's when Amber went to college. I was surprised at how many degrees are out there in the ag field. And part of the advisory board is making sure everything goes together. The one thing I think we talked about at the advisory board meeting was the one reason the animal science is kind of a small number is because it conflicts with going out to VOTech. And so we've talked about maybe trying to move some classes around so some of those kids that are in VOTech, whether for whatever reason, can possibly take that class in the future if they'd like to, and maybe get our numbers up a little bit more. So, thank you.
So that's some of our successes. We've had quite a few others as well, just some that we're able to come and share. So just kind of speaking from someone that also graduated from here and didn't have the ag program, when I went on to K-State, I was very behind compared to my peers, especially in the plant courses, because that wasn't my interest, but now it kind of is. But I remember the teacher, him working so fast with all these other students that came from schools with an ag program, and they were flying through the plant ID. I'm like, how the heck do they know all this? And then when I started teaching that plant ID, it made more sense. I'm like, okay, that's why I was super behind. So a lot of success happening. You guys are welcomed in my classroom anytime, especially if it's a 5:30 in the morning trip and you want to come with us. More than welcome to have you, especially if there's room on the bus. So if you guys have any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer them.
I just had a statement. I met a young lady, I believe she said she was a sophomore this year, and she is in the FFA program, and she could not stop glowing and ranting and raving about the program. This was just Thursday evening, and she moved here, I think she said from South Dakota, and she said, this is the best school ever, and I've learned so much, and she loved your class, and I was just like, yes, we need 30 more of you to be here. So congratulations. I just loved hearing her enthusiasm, and what you guys are doing is amazing.
Well, I've known Miss Amber probably her whole life. Congratulations with your successes, and thank you for taking the time to come back to support this program. And I want to see this program to continue to grow, and I'll continue to support you're just doing a great job, Ms. Gillespie. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
But thanks for coming back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was also going to add, thank you, Mrs. Gillespie. I know that it seems like it was just last year you were coming to us with this vision, and so it's been really fun seeing it expand and now hearing the successes from the first group of students. And so thank you for the work that you've done to put into it. And I know you're continuing to dream on how to make it bigger and better and all of that. So thank you for all of your work.